Welcome back. Singapore Prime Minister Lawrence Wong says he's deeply grateful to Saudi Arabia and partners in the Middle East for facilitating a military flight to repatriate more than 200 Singaporeans from Riyadh and ensuring its safe passage. Posting on social media after the flight landed, he urges Singaporeans remaining in the region to stay vigilant and look out for one another. He says they should register online with the Foreign Affairs Ministry so they can be contacted quickly if needed. Singapore Ambassador to Saudi Arabia S. Premjit says close coordination and detailed planning are required to carry out the operation and bring Singaporeans home on the RSAF plane. He also adds that plans may not always unfold as expected.
So it also required all our officers to be agile and adapt to the changing situation. So the work still goes on. So long as there is demand and a need for us to help the Singaporeans, we are here to assist.
More than 200 Singaporeans and their dependents got the rare experience of flying on a military plane sent by the country's Air Force to bring them home from Riyadh. Hand in hand, the young and not so young were assisted on board the A330 multi-role tanker transport, or MRTT. Inside, the flight experience was quite similar to a commercial one, with in-flight service and passengers served by Air Force personnel. Although not the kabayas worn by the Singapore girl, the military uniforms were just as reassuring that home was near. And after an around 8-hour journey, the A330 MRTT landed in Singapore at around 6 a.m., reuniting the passengers with their families. This is the third repatriation flight mounted by the Foreign Affairs Ministry and the first using an RSAF plane. Sherlyn Seah was at Changi Airport.
Emotional scenes of reunion here at Changi Airport as loved ones gathered to welcome their families back home arriving from Riyadh. For them, the passengers tell us that it was extremely difficult to find a way back home, with commercial options becoming increasingly limited or unavailable due to the escalating conflict in the Middle East. For them, this flight arranged by the Singapore authorities and the first via a military aircraft was a long-awaited journey back home to safety.
We can't be thankful enough. Seriously, we can't be thankful enough. It's so good to be back home again. I can't say this enough, really, it's good to be back home again.
The whole experience has been kind of smooth. Even the interior of the plane looks like any other commercial flight. So it's quite a heroic landing, I would say. Once it landed, everyone just giving a round of applause. Senior Minister of State for Defence Zaqy Mohamad was also here at the airport to welcome passengers. He said the situation in the region has become increasingly dangerous, leaving Singaporeans stranded with few flight options. 2 earlier flights brought Singaporeans back home from Oman via special flights operated by Singapore Airlines.
So I think this is a relief, seeing them come off the plane, seeing them back with their families and loved ones. And I hope that this shows how we are united, we stand with them. And I want to assure Singaporeans that the Singapore government and the RSAF are behind them and are here to support them.
He also gave thanks to the military personnel who stepped up to assist with the repatriation efforts. Authorities say arrangements are underway for another 4th repatriation flight from Saudi Arabia on Thursday. Mr. Zaqy has also assured that the government will continue working with partners in the region to bring Singaporeans home safely as the Middle East situation develops.